Now, if Democrats are wondering why they can't seem to fix their brand, they might want to consider whom they treat as villains and victims. Now, most Americans believe that criminals should be prosecuted, and most Americans want illegals deported. They don't have sympathy for visa overstayers. Everyone knows the rules. And they don't think anti-American radicals should be given student or work visas at all. But not Democrats.
See, and so the student radicals, right? Which was a big issue with the Muhammad guy, right? You can't go to these schools and supporting these groups that are considered terrorists in the eyes of America, right? You can't, right? And now, look, people are starting to act in ways where they feel that they can get away with whatever they're doing, right? People are gonna watch these videos and see all this stuff that, these attacks. You think that people just randomly woke up one morning and was like, hey, I'm just gonna attack these people. No. The couple that was killed outside of DC, outside the museum, right? Because they were Jewish. You have the guy with the Molotovs, right? When you have people that are not from America coming here and promoting violence or promoting organizations or groups that are against what we believe in as America, yeah, you shouldn't be here. And you shouldn't be here promoting that stuff. Brainwashing our kids and our students, you feel me? Or assaulting or harassing our students, okay, because of what you believe. That's not what these people are here for. When you're coming here on a student visa, when you're coming here as a visitor, right? You're coming here as a visitor. You're coming here as a student, right? You're coming here on a work visa. Like, if you're coming here for these reasons, right? You are here for those reasons. You are not meant to come here and stir up political rhetoric, you feel me? Or mix in your political rhetoric, you feel me? And try to persuade our American children, yes, our kids, our young adults in college, you feel me? And to try to persuade them into believing or thinking that this is okay, that what Hamas is doing is okay. You are not going to come here and disrupt America.
Pro-Palestinian agitators are passionate advocates, and illegal aliens, they're just innocent victims of a corrupt immigration enforcement system. Case in point, liberal Congressman Dan Goldman, one of the worst. He prefers more illegals in the United States and fewer arrests of illegals. And he's upset about the ICE way of dressing.
I asked them, I said to them, what is the point here? Are you just trying to tally more arrests? I didn't get any real response. And then I said to them, why are you wearing masks? I was a federal prosecutor for 10 years. I worked with ICE agents. I worked with law enforcement agents. I never saw any of them wear masks.
Look at the people they're dealing with, right? Look how easy it is for information to get out nowadays. Why wouldn't you want to wear a mask, right? You're not just going after regular illegal immigrants, right? No, you're going after drug dealers, you're going after traffickers, you're going after murderers, you're going after dangerous people, right? So yeah, why wouldn't you want your face hidden? I mean, it sucks you have to do that in your home, but I mean, I get it. I mean, we do, like, police do that whenever they're doing operations, right? Undercover operations, right? People cover their faces. It's a thing, all right?
This is brand new, and the question is, if everything is legitimate and proper, why are you wearing masks to hide your face?
Wait a second. Suddenly, Mr. COVID is against masks? Wait, was he against them when they were ripping down the statues of the Summer of Love? This is very interesting. I remember this tweet. Quote, the fact that there is even such a thing as anti-mask in America is an indictment of the president and humiliating around the world. Now, first off, did he ever think that the reason that some of these ICE agents might choose to wear masks or cover their faces is directly related to the inflammatory rhetoric his party uses, including himself, to describe them?
Yeah.
This is Gestapo-like behavior, where plainclothes officers wearing masks are terrorizing immigrants.
Donald Trump's modern-day Gestapo is scooping folks up off the streets. They're in unmarked vans, wearing masks, being shipped off to foreign torture dungeons.
And these people are going to our colleges, speaking to our kids, bro. What happened to the American pride? Like, where is it? Where's our pride? You know?
No chance to mount a defense.
Torture dungeon was watching your vice presidential debate. I think he said gazpacho. Anyway, these ICE officers are being threatened on a daily basis because of these type of vicious verbal attacks. And Democrats, when you listen to them, they're practically begging for these agents to get grief or to be assaulted. ICE officers in San Diego last week were carrying out a raid and were branded as terrorists by another Democratic councilman there, Sean Elo Rivera. Again.
Kick his ass out. How can you be a representative of the American people and be against the laws that uphold America and the Constitution? Like, how can you do that? You should be fired. If you cannot sit there and be a proud member of your country, how can you serve your country, right? How can you be a political figure if you're not even standing up for the rights of your citizens, you know, but you're standing up for the rights of people who aren't supposed to be here, right? They're being arrested for a reason, right? These aren't just random arrest. You feel me? Like, no, like there are reasons why they're out here doing this. Okay. And to be completely honest, making posts like this, I feel like is impeding on their jobs, right? Posting stuff like this, when people see this, right, they're gonna look at this and what are they gonna do? They're gonna get emotional, right? They're gonna be like, damn, police officers, they're at it again. They're attacking the people, you feel me? And they're calling, and the crazy thing about it is the Democrats and the media have been so good at it, right? They've been repeating the same thing over and over and over, saying specific words over and over and over and over, or avoiding specific words over and over and over. And I swear, like, it's almost like a playback loop when you hear these stories, right? American family, parents, children, students, mothers, you know, like being arrested. They've been here for 30 years, 20 years. Yes, they're here illegally, but they go to school, they work, they broken the law, they're wanted in their other country for this, but they're here. That doesn't mean anything. They're an American, they're a Maryland man or father, they're these, it's like, come on. Why are you trying so hard to manipulate the people? They put this out in the very beginning, bro. They're like, look, just help us. Give us names of people you've had in jail, people that are in jail. Okay, help us make these arrests. Help us make these arrests. Okay? Yeah, people, there are illegals here, right? But we have a priority to get the violent ones out first, right? But when you don't help them, of course, now they have to do it themselves. Now they have to go in and hey, if people are around that are illegal, that weren't part of the process, well, now they are.
For Democrats, the illegals are the innocent victims. ICE are the criminals. Now, this guy's comments to local media were just as bad. He told the Los Angeles Times, quote, "I've seen firsthand the pain and trauma caused when our neighbors are targeted by aggressive military-style federal enforcement. When ICE agents stormed Buona Forchetta with military-style weapons, that wasn't safety. It was an attempt to terrorize San Diegans into compliance."
No, they actually have to go with, you say military-style weapons, an AR-15. Oh my God, listen, okay, listen. All right, yes, they have to go in because the people that they are looking for, right, are violent offenders, okay? They are looking for violent offenders, right? The only reason that they're even getting these other groups of people is because they just happen to be around or be in the area during that time. Okay? And that doesn't take away from the fact that if they're there and they're illegal, yes, okay? But come on, have you seen what's been going on? Have you seen how these crowds show up when the ICE come to do their job? They're fighting officers, they're pushing them. You have representatives, congresswomen pushing and come on, like you have people really who believe that they're doing the right thing by attacking these ICE officers or officers in general. Okay, like it's not okay. It's not cool. These people are normal people just like us, right? They wake up in the morning and they do their job. But you have elected officials like this, like MacGyver, you feel me, who are an embarrassment to America, and they're an embarrassment to our political structure. Everything. They're an embarrassment.
No, it was an attempt to enforce immigration law and keep ICE agents safe. What an open border zealot he is. Now, of course, the media are a major part of the problem as well. Look at this misleading LA Times headline. ICE agents with assault rifles toss flashbangs into trendy San Diego neighborhood. Community fights back. Now, notice how those attempting to obstruct federal...
You see, and this is what I'm saying, like, look at how they word this stuff. You feel me? I swear, being in this right now, I swear, it feels like, it's like I don't know, like, I don't understand what Democrats are really trying to get out of this. I don't even know why they're even still trying to push the same rhetoric and propaganda that they were pushing before Donald Trump was president. It didn't even work. You feel me? More people actually flocked over to him because of what they were doing. Now look, you have them cheering on criminals and people who aren't supposed to be here and demonizing the people who are supposed to be here to enforce laws and protect us as American citizens on a public and national, or yes, on a state and national level. You feel me? Like when did we start being against America, the laws we have in place here, and the laws that we have in place here? It is sad. It really is sad. You feel me? You have these people up here who serve in Congress, and they tout around like, oh, I'm serving my country, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. Look, how about this? How about you put some fucking boots on, right? You put a fucking Kevlar on your head, right? You put on a fucking vest, put on a 50-pound ruck, and take your ass somewhere, okay, for 3 years, 1 term. You do 1 term, 3 years, then come back, then you be in Congress, all right? You're not doing anybody who is against the American policies that we have in place, whether it's the border, whether it's international, whatever, okay? When it comes to the border and the things that we're doing right now, it isn't wrong. Everything that they're doing is within the power, okay? You've had judges try to stop this stuff. You've had people try to stop this stuff, okay? And you've had the Supreme Court come out and say, hey, Donald Trump is in the right. He's doing the things that he is doing. It's okay. The things that for right now, things are the way he are doing things, or they're good. Okay. He have to do this a little bit different, maybe. Slow it down. Like we have to, make it a little like this. But for the most part, the things that he's doing is good. So why are these Democratic leaders still pushing on against this? It is making me sad to even say that. I'm an American. Look how you're all acting. You're embarrassing. Okay? You make it embarrassing for me to even think that I've even put on a uniform.
Federal law enforcement are righteously fighting back in the headline. They're the heroes, of course, which only encourages more of this. And of course, ICE had to use non-lethal flashbangs, but only to disperse the crowd forming around the agents so that they could actually do their jobs and exit the scene safely. I guess Democrats don't care about that. No, they want to keep it as unsafe as possible. They wonder why people are turning against this party. So Democrats, they are on a crusade, but it's not to keep Americans safe from criminals, but to keep illegals safe from ICE. Now, we saw this dynamic at play outside that New Jersey ICE facility last month. And there was similar pro-illegal performance theater in Worcester, Mass last month as well. That was when ICE showed up to arrest a criminal alien accused of assault and battery with a dangerous weapon, allegedly against her pregnant 16-year-old daughter.
And this is what people want. And this is what people are fighting for. There's a dude, right? There was a dude, I seen a video of him who had I don't know if he either broke out of prison or they let him out. I don't know, but he was out. He was pleading his case. You feel me? Where are the representatives there? You feel me? Because he made some good points about the prison system here, especially in Louisiana. Where are the representatives at? Where are the lawmakers at? Where are all the people that are defending these illegal immigrants who allegedly assaulted his pregnant 16-year-old daughter? Where are the people that are protecting these people? Huh? Why aren't you protecting the American people that we have here that are going through all this BS, these corrupt systems that we have here that people are going through? You're not helping them. Get out and do something for the people that are here. Represent the people who voted for you.
Democrat City Councilor Ital Hajiaj went ballistic and stepped in to help the illegal resist ICE.
Take her! Take her!
Sit back. Stop right there. Stop.
This is my constituent. No, you do not touch me. Do not touch me.
I need you to go over there,
I need
ma'am.
you to
You're
not touch
obstructing
me.
a federal arrest.
Do not touch me.
Come on. Let's go. Come on.
Please don't touch me. No,
You're
no,
obstructing a federal arrest right now. Do you understand that?
Let's go.
You can be charged. The people who are under arrest are under arrest,
she's
okay?
not. She hasn't done anything.
Under arrest.
Please let her go. Let her go. She hasn't done anything. She's traumatized.
Okay, if she hadn't been put in jail, right, she should have been put in jail. There have to be consequences to this.
Exactly. There has to be, bro. If this was the fucking, bro, I'm telling you, bro, man, and I keep saying this, bro. If these were American citizens out there right now, you feel me? If this was my neighborhood right now, everybody out there right now would have their face on the ground. Every one of them. Every one of them. I'm sick of this special treatment. You have people out here actually assaulting and thinking that it's okay, right? Because they're not even doing anything, right? Her mama should have been arrested too. You can't just go up and just start punching and pushing and swing, like on federal agents. It don't matter where you are in the world. People know who the police are. You know what you can and can't do with them. At least for the most part, you know not to touch them. You feel me? But then they play stuff like this on the news, right? They show these protests, right? They're not protests though. They're not. People are actually physically attacking the officers, right? Blocking them, right? Stopping them from being able to leave. Do you know how dangerous that is, right? Do you know how dangerous that is, right? Imagine they're doing that right there, right? And you see that house right there to the left, that little tall one? Imagine, right? I'm not saying that it is, right? But there could be illegal immigrants there, right? The group is so focused on this group here, they're not even focused over there. Now, if I'm here and I feel threatened, right, and I'm like, damn, I see them out the window attacking her. Either what, it's fight or flight. Either I'm gonna come fight or I'm gonna run. You are like they're putting themselves in so much danger, having to come out here in the open like this because for some reason the cities and states don't want to help them, And
Wow. The story does not end there though, because as bad as all that is, imagine being so engulfed by anti-Trump hate that you can't admit the true evil among us. Those who seek to kill innocent Americans like Egyptian national Mohammed Solomon. Remember, he's on that expired tourist visa. The man should never have been allowed to remain in the United States, but somehow he did. But because Democrats elevate the plight of foreigners over everyday Americans, Democrats will always find a reason to criticize Trump instead of standing against the real villains here.
Of course we need answers. We need answers about the visa overstay, and a visa overstay has nothing to do with the border. I believe in border security. We need border security, but in this incident, it doesn't look like that is what is at play here at all. President Trump has been president for nearly 6 months now, and I want to know why an attack that had been planned for the entirety of that time was missed.
Congressman should eat crow. Doesn't even merit a response, but I'll give him one anyway. I'll spell it out because he apparently can't understand the obvious. Border enforcement, sir, is immigration enforcement. And immigration enforcement requires that all the laws be enforced at the border and in the interior of the United States when foreigners without citizenship or any other right to be here decide to flout our rules, the laws that you all pass in Congress. What a dope. Was that somehow too hard for Congressman Crow to understand? And look at this headline from The Guardian. Trump administration uses Colorado's suspect status to push deportation agenda. Okay, so they're quibbling with semantics instead of acknowledging the obvious problem of having several 100,000 people here, foreigners, on expired visas. Remember, there were other people who exploited our visa system 24 years ago. They were the 9/11 hijackers, committed the worst terror attack on America ever. But again, facts don't matter. The media and the Democrats have their villain, and it's Donald Trump and those who carry out his agenda, and they have their victims, and they're foreigners who commit crimes, those who abuse our generous immigration policies. So take that simple framing to the voters in 2026, and let's see what America they vote for. And that's the angle.
Click here to subscribe.
Yeah, so you heard it there. Not much really to say. I just hope that this doesn't go too far. You know, hopefully people start to realize sooner rather than later that this is what needs to be done, it should be done, and the faster we get it done, the faster we can focus on other things. By focus on other things, I mean us, Americans. Y'all up there in Congress, y'all can focus on what y'all need to, but let's get this done so us as Americans can relax and not have to see this every single day again. So, like I said, make sure you hug someone, make sure you love someone,